Click the links, join channel here over at SubScribestar. So a lot going on, obviously, the past few days. So after a deletion attempt on Donald Trump's life, Jack Black's Tenacious D wishes don't miss Trump next time. Well, there's a lot of things I'd just love to say, but I can't on YouTube. So the left wing has been, if you've been on Twitter, wow, the left wing has been taking off their mask, and it turns out, oh, they're absolutely evil. For the past 8 years, what has happened is the globalist media parasites have said that Trump is Satan, and anything you can do to stop Satan, well, it's going to be justified. That's known as stochastic terrorism. They wanted violence. They've been rioting for years. And on that note, if Trump does get in, then Soros is going to give them permission to find a new George Floyd, who I'm sure will present himself when needed, and start rioting again. So this is kind of the calm before the storm. Be prepared. Get the three B's, the beans, bandages, and other things, and form local neighborhood spiritual defense groups in case of a haunting. What I mean with the Twitter thing is these people are saying all these similar things to what he's saying, advocating threats of grievous bodily injury, and Libs of TikTok is one of the many who is shining a light on this, and people are just getting fired left and right because you can't threaten to delete a president. It's sociopathic behavior. And then this is the right cancel culture. Yeah, I guess this is the one time that the right wing is doing a little bit of canceling. But the thing is, they're not exactly doing the canceling. They're just like somebody will say something on Facebook, so some people will screenshot it, find out their place of work, and ask them. It's like, all right. It's all public information, but it's also like, it's a death threat. A lot of these people are saying, well, you have to see what they're saying. They're saying some similar things where they're very clearly expressing that they wish this person was deleted. I mean, the most horrific freaking things. So people are getting fired left and right, and it's coming from so many different sources, so many different types of people. If you look at it and you go, It seems like this country has irreconcilable differences. Anyway, so what happens to a country that normalizes political deletions, as his band was suggesting? Well, there's plenty of examples around the world. From the third world, what times it just turns into a third world country. But Jack Black, I guess, is this guy's Jack Black. I don't know what the other guy's name's. Tenacious D, that's the name. And this guy can foment the destruction of America because they can just go to another country because they have money, and most people don't have that kind of money to be able to pick up and go to another place. So they can push this voting with a bullet. I think that was a song by Corrosion of Conformity, great band. But if it happens to their guy, then well, then it happens to the other guy, and then it just never ends. It's just Hatfield and McCoy type of stuff. Mexico had something like 100 assassinations last year, and no offense, but it's a very dangerous place that's kind of run by drug gangs, where the politicians have to hide their faces and go in armored cars and live in gated communities, all this kind of stuff. It's like you're living in kind of a militarized. If you're in the cities, you're living in these militarized zones, and I look at this Jack Black guy goes, this is what you're advocating, where he can start the fire, miss a firefight because he can just go to another country. Like there's a lot of things I just love to say, but anyway, so that's okay for these Hollywood vermin, and they really are, because they live in gated communities, or if they want to just pack up and literally let's go to, I don't know, Switzerland or something. That's just that easy for them. So in a deletion attempt, I'm sure you're familiar with it. It clipped his ear. Now he's got a pierced ear. Kind of cool. And, for the optics of him, I don't think he could have wished for anything better. Tragically, other people were injured fatally as well. And that's, I'm not sure. But, like, for him to get an injury and not to be fatal, it's like... I don't think he could have asked for better optics than blood going down his face and pumping his hand in the air, his fist in the air, and I mean, that kind of, like, you can't buy that kind of publicity. It's just like a lot of people look at this and go, this is like he's touched by God or something, because he turned his head at the last incident. And that's part of it. And the other thing is, the left wing is coming out on social media and they're saying the most reprehensible, just bizarre things. Because, like I said, there was another guy, a firefighter, a grandfather, who was in the crowd, and he lost his life that day. And there's people like Destiny are saying things like, "Oh, good, he deserved it for being there." And he's not the only one who's saying this kind of stuff. There's a bunch of other people who are saying the most just sick stuff. I can understand somebody's fixation with Trump. Fair enough. He's a politician, but to say that your fellow Americans in the crowd deserve what they got because they voted for the wrong guy, it's like, Trump's not some monster that this strawman monster that they seem to think he is, and it shows how gullible and naive people are. I mean, if the past few years with that whole Wu flu thing should have taught you the always trust the media and government, right, left wing? What happened? What happened to the left wing? Anyway, so he Corey Comperatori, who used his body to shield his wife and daughter who were at the rally with them. What a scumbag Tenacious D is. So at their concert tour in Australia, the band, I mean, like, he could just settle down in Australia if you want. I don't know where he lives. Celebrated the birthday of the member Kyle Gass with blacks singing happy birthday and a birthday cake. Informs him to make a wish, and then he states, "Don't miss Trump next time." Much of the crowd began laughing. How do you laugh at that? It's freaking bizarre. Oh, we're all left-wingers. It's okay. Trump is literally Satan. Why would you think that? Like, what policies has he enacted? And, I mean, you try to, like, nail them down on stuff. They don't know. They don't. And the thing is, part of them, some of them do feel a little bit of shame at laughing at people being deleted. So they have to double down on it. And you just kind of look at them and, like, you don't really have something to focus on to have this kind of morbid fixation, morbid humor about not just Trump, but like other people in the audience. So they have to keep doubling down on it, because if they go, "Oh, this is way too far, this is sick," and they're on the left, then it's like they're selling out the left wing. It's like that chick, the head of the Secret Service. She when that thing happened, I would have expected in a normal functioning society, she would have resigned that day, because that was a massive failure. But because she's working, it would look bad for Mayorkas and Biden for her to resign. I don't know what's going to happen with even something that was such an egregious failure. But you can't, like, Biden can't take any more L's. And I think even the Democratic Party themselves is looking at Biden and looking at the situation and going like, okay, we're just going to have to just accept that this is not going to happen. He's not going to get reelected if they have a fair election. But, as SNAIL said, it's who counts the, YouTube had an issue if you tried to say that there was malfeasance going on. Again, always trust the media, the government, and social media companies to decide what's best for you. It's bizarre how naive people got. And they go, "Oh, Trump was pushing the treatment for that Wu flu," and the thing is, like, yeah, it was on his watch, but his supporters didn't take it because they don't worship him like a god. Even now, it's like he got saved. His supporters don't worship him. They go, "Yeah, we don't trust him that far. He made it. Oh, he's pushing this treatment. Yeah, we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass on that. There's no long-term studies." But your Messiah was pushing it. Yeah, he's not. He's just a guy. He's not a Messiah. I mean, part of liking Trump is just trolling the left. It's like the right wing ultimately did think for themselves, because we didn't take that treatment. We're hashtag pure blood, and the left wing said, "Oh, we're never gonna take that because of nothing Trump suggests is a good thing." And then the narrative shifted like within a couple of weeks, and then they just 180 degrees. They swapped around. They go, "Oh yeah, absolutely. We're going to get on board this." Like, they'll just do anything they're told. It's this weird herd behavior. It's a challenge. Like, every day is a challenge, not the Fed post, but you just can't do it. But a lot of these a lot of these left wingers were Fed posted, and they're going to get fired, but they're not going to have the FBI come even bother to visit them because they're on the left. It's like that's just the harsh reality of a lot of things. So they've for 8 years they built Trump up to be like this kind of line. It says it feels like it's going to be the end of the world if we don't get on board and vote. And people on Twitter today, actually today they put this stuff together where they have a compilation. Actually, I was watching Red Ice on Odyssey. They put a compilation together of all the things left-wing people have said over the past 8 years of literally advocating violence. In fact, oh God, somebody said something like. I forget the guy's name. He says something like Trump has to be taken out. I mean, very crystal clear threat. And then they show Kathy, what's her face with the mannequin, the Gifford or something with the mannequin doll. And it's like this thing went on for 5 minutes of all these quotes and threats and Maxine Water. And from that to actual, clear threats of imminent harm, it's freaking bizarre. Anyway, that's where we are now. So like I said, beans, bandages, and other things. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next episode.